Hello.
We are back. Hanji, Vakra Swag hai hamara aur Vakra Swag hai aapka.
I'm Jyotsna Mohan, and along with my partner in crime, Manika Raikwar, bring you real life conversations rarely heard in mainstream media.
We're two women, mothers, juggling homes and careers who have a strong voice. And we want to connect with you, our audience, by bringing you interesting, relevant guests each week. We're crazy dog lovers, quite irreverent, and in a world increasingly getting polarized and divided, we want to create a platform where we can genuinely talk and discuss issues.
If you have ever wanted to find a story of determination, of a battle without bitterness, even when life dealt you a really shitty hand, if you're struggling to find inspiration, if the last year made you feel how will you ever get up and get going again, our guest today will show you how, despite the odds, you can become not just a champion, but a world champion.
We have with us today Manasi Joshi. She was just 22 when one of her legs had to be cut off after an accident. An accident where she didn't get proper medical attention in a city like Mumbai for hours. An accident that could have been prevented if the traffic lights in the area where a truck ran her over had been working. But nothing, absolutely nothing would deter this young woman from getting back on her feet. Not just walking, not just running, but becoming the world's number one para-badminton player, trained by none other than P.Gopichand. Manasi Joshi, a huge welcome. Mansi, thank you so much for joining us today. It's just wonderful having you with us. I actually wanted to start by asking that 11 years ago, when your accident happened, and the journey to now, and we'll speak to our listeners about that journey, but did you ever think you were going to achieve the kind of success that you have?
So first of all, thank you, Manika, and thank you, Jyotsna, for having me. And actually, it was 9 years back that I met with an accident in the year 2011. And no, I mean, I had never planned out. First of all, having an accident was something which was out of control. And then right now, whatever has happened in these last 9 years, I think, no, I had never planned that I'd reach to this successful level in my sporting journey or career. First of all, get into sports initially.
Right.
That was never my plan. So it's all, I'll say, effort and hard work and a lot of support that goes through, especially to become a sports person in our country. So yeah.
I think both Manika and I would really want to, look back at the day, of how of when this accident happened. I was reading and about the fact that you didn't get medical support for quite a while till you actually reached a proper hospital. It was actually hours. Did that also go through that day with us? And secondly, also, did that leave a little bit of bitterness in you going forward?
Bitterness, though I don't know, but then yeah, I met with an accident at around 8:30 in the morning, and by the time I was shifted from one hospital to the other, and by the time I got like a proper medical care, it was 2:33 p.m. In the afternoon, and they operated me at 5:30 in the evening. So I by that time I had lost a lot of time. Uh, I was awake. I was knowing what was happening. I had seen my injury, which was very different. But I saw so much of uh, hope. I saw so much of affection. I just saw so much of fear. I saw so many things that day. Like I called up my family home within 10 minutes. My parents, like my father was at the accident spot. He was the one who lifted me from the spot. Like there were multiple people, but my father was one of the person there lifting me from the spot into the police van because ambulance didn't come in time. It was like a busy Friday morning. But one thing that I understood that day was that there are these accidents that happen, it's not some destiny or a pre-planned God's thing, something that people, it's like not a destiny thing. It happened because somebody didn't do their work properly. Like when I met with an accident that day, the traffic lights, they were not working, and that accident happened because of the traffic light not working. So it's unfortunate, since 2-3 days those lights were not working and nobody did the job to fix it up, or have somebody placed up in that busy junction to manage the busy traffic. I mean, I feel really sad about the fact that in our country, that was the year 2011. 2011 was one of the most progressive year according to me. But then now, if I look back, I feel, yeah, those traffic lights in a city like Mumbai definitely could have been working, and this accident could have been avoided. So
Mansi, it's quite amazing. I have to say, I really applaud you. You've taken this in such a stride. There is no bitterness. You're sad, and that somebody didn't do their job, and it's not about. But you said something very interesting, and you said that in India, becoming an athlete is difficult as it is. But you have become sort of like a world champion, taking adverse circumstances, which are not normal, and turn them into this. And also, you spoke about your father, and I believe he was the first person who actually started training with you.
So I always say this one thing, that always convert your adversities into all your opportunities, whatever be it. But then, yeah, this is like not a motivational speech that I'm giving right now. So, but yeah, I mean, my father, it was the first person I played badminton with. I remember I was 6, and I still remember him throwing shuttles towards me, and I'm just hitting, holding like a child whose height is almost as much as a badminton racket. And when I met with an accident, trust me, sports was not even my first thought. Or even after I came back home, sport was never a thought in my mind, because I had seen my injury. I thought I want to get back to what I was doing previously. And that is what helped me to come back to what I was doing previously. And there were so many things that I was doing previously that I was so I feel like right now I feel more empowered because of a multi-talented I mean, at that time, I was 22 at that time. I thought the world is for me. I can do anything. And right now, I had just freshly graduated from engineering, and I had started working, earning my own money at that time. So yeah, I was very positive. My father played a very important role in doing so many things. Like, he is a retired scientist from Bhabha Atomic Research Center. So I have seen him working hard. Even now he's 65, and he's doing he's just enrolled into one university and doing one course. So I have never seen him not doing anything. Every time he's working hard. So my father is also a writer, and he has won one Sahitya Akademi Puraskar for Maharashtra State and for one of his books. So I mean, not only science, but also, like we say, arts or fine arts, music, or again literature. All these have been his passion. And so, like in family, we had such great people to just look forward to. Okay, I didn't have to go out looking for motivation. It just came from my family. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the whole journey, if you ask me how it was, I feel it must have been so difficult for my parents to see their eldest daughter going through such difficult time. But now they're so proud of me.
I
uh,
think everybody is proud of you,
Yeah,
Mansi. I mean, as a
totally.
country, we're enormously inspired by you more than anything else. I think, and when we're talking about families, as Manika knows, in my family, badminton is a very big deal. So, when I was reading about the day that Gopichand happened in your life, and the fact that you went up and walked in and spoke to him. So tell us about that, because I mean,
when
this is.
I saw Gopi sir one day in my office, I just approached him. I was not at all like a very big shot player at that time. I was just preparing for my. I had just won a bronze medal at World Championship 2017, and I wanted to prepare for Asian Games. And I had decided that I'll dedicate my current few 4 to 5 years into para sports and let me see. So I was working as a software engineer at that time, and I told myself that yeah, opportunities are there. Let me just concentrate on the sport. This is the age. Sport has a particular age. So I had decided I'll concentrate on sports as well as my career. Gopi sir had come to give a lecture, and I approached him and asked him, "Okay, sir, I'm preparing for I want to prepare for Asian Games, and I am targeting a medal. Can you train me?" So I told him, I gave him my credentials, saying I've done this. These are my achievements, and so was so kind. He has his ears open, and he's a very kind gentleman, listening to me and saying that, yeah, Mansi, I think you can come to my academy, you can come to our academy, you can come train here, and you just see how it goes. And then after that time, I just took his number, and every few weeks I would message him asking, sir, can I come? Can I come? And one day I just packed my bags and went to Hyderabad. And that year in 2018, I won a bronze medal at Asian Games. So I was so proud of carrying that medal.
But I wanted to ask you, you're so proud of your bronze medal, but then in 2019, you went on to make history and win the gold. What was that like?
So yeah, so I'll tell you this one thing. I've told this at multiple occasions, and again will tell you that I didn't know that I can win a gold medal. Like deep inside, I knew that I have done whatever I could have done to reach to a level of world championship. I had worked very hard. I was working 8 hours a day. I was training 6 days a week, and I was putting in as much effort as anybody. So at the world championship, it was a very difficult, initially, like first few rounds, I was little nervous. I regained my confidence after one of the matches, and that day I decided that like when I played semifinals, I knew that tomorrow, like finals, I'm going to do good. Like I'm going to play well. I But then when finals happened, uh, it was one of the best finals that I played, or one of the best matches that I played. The score line was what, 21-12, 21-7. So it was with great margin that I won the last match. So I was very proud that this thing happened. And I so every tournament, something or the other has happened. Sometimes my prosthetic breaks, sometimes my charger breaks. So for world championship, I was so prepared that nothing should go wrong. I would every day after my no, not every day, but every week after my training, I would go to my prosthetist in Hyderabad, get my screws fixed. Even before we left for worlds, I made sure all my screws are tight in my prosthesis. No part is like we made sure everything that we are using are 100% maintained, so that nothing wrong happens. So when world championship happened, it happened in the same arena, like in the same complex. There was able-bodied world championship happening and para world championship happening, and you should see Gopi sir was there. He would sit in the morning for Sindhu's match, and again in the afternoon he would come to the para side and would just sit and encourage me. So I just was so proud. Like we don't get to see or have Gopi sir sitting with us, but here at World Championship he was there.
Now that you've spoken about PV Sindhu being right there playing, you won the championship just I think a day before she won or whatever, and yet I mean there were all these tweets going on for PV Sindhu congratulating her on winning, and I remember Sukant. Tweeting out to the prime minister and saying that hello, we've also won 12 medals. Did you feel bad? Do you feel that there's a lack of awareness?
Para sports, I think in all the sports, it's one of the newest sports. for people to understand and appreciate. I don't know. I can't say I was sad. I'll just say it's only because of lack of awareness that people don't know about our sports. And that is where you guys come as media who can promote and tell people how amazing our sport is, how challenging it is to play a sport, and how as sports fans we all should be watching sports that we relate to. And sometimes people don't relate to para sports, and it's okay. Like, we can't blame anyone, right? It's only how do people relate to a sport when they watch about it, when they read about their players, when we have more role models in those sports. So I think uh, after my world championship, I've seen a very steady increase in awareness of para sports. Of course, there has been awareness of para sports in India before. Like when we won medals at Paralympic Games, we know, like there's Deepa Malik, there's Devendra Janjhadia. So para sport has been popular. It's just that para badminton, it's going to make its debut at Paralympic Games in 2020. It's for the first time that sport is being played. So people are not aware about it, and it's okay. But we need to create more awareness. We need to have more and more news articles coming about people playing other para sports, all para sports, I think. And para sports person be portrayed in that way. Like, there are times when they are portrayed as in a very, like a very, in a very sympathetic way, or
Right.
I think that needs to change. That we can change the narrative, and I think this is the right time to change that kind of a narrative too. I think 2020 Paralympics, like which is going to happen this year, I'm looking. I have seen so much of sensitization done in media, in especially in reporting para sports events, and I have also been very particular about how I want to be portrayed. Like, I don't want people to focus on my disability. I want people to focus on my achievements, and that has happened. So I'm very proud of the fact right now of how things are shaping up.
No, and I think you're an amazing role model because, like you said, I don't think anybody focuses on your disability. I think everyone focuses on your ability. But I did want to ask you that whether it is because of the lack of awareness or relatability or whatever you call it, it's not just in terms of people watching. Is there also a hindrance in sort of getting sponsorships? In maybe para athletes actually making a living out of the sport? Just talk to us a little bit about that.
It's a very tough question, actually, like having a career option in para sport. So trust me, like, sponsorship wise, it is difficult. I won't say it's easy to, become a para sports person or make an income. But then we see a lot of change. Change in the sense that, so see, how athletes in India, how do they make money? I'll tell you. One is through brand opportunities, endorsements, and sponsorship. But that is given to only the cream, which are at the top. Either it's Sindhu, it's Saina Nehwal in badminton, Shrikant Kadambi, or few players who make a noise at that time. Maybe Olympians who won medals at that moment, they get a lot of sponsorship and support and branding opportunities. But after that, what are the options? Another option is uh, government jobs. People sustain after becoming athletes. They get government jobs in organization which are either or PSUs, which absorb people, and they make money through it. But it is just a method of sustenance. You don't. It's like how you lead your life later on, and after you retire in your 30s, maybe. Other option is, going for events, getting opportunities of speaking, and charging. But then not they don't pay you well. Like if you're cream, they pay you well, but then after some point, some athletes, I mean, and of course, there are multiple factors: being presentable, being aware as athletes, talking. I mean, there are multiple things. Again, I think, now, and one of the biggest way one person as an athlete they earn is through cash awards from state governments. Cash awards in the sense, like when you win, like when we win medal at world championship. uh, Now para sports cash award at the central level. I'm not talking about state level. State levels are very different, but at central level, you will see para athletes getting the same cash award as an able-bodied athlete. We see PSUs and everybody, like not many corporates, but we do see few PSUs. Like I'm employed by Bharat Petroleum, and there are PSUs coming up and employing people with disabilities, sports person with disabilities. Uh, you see multiple athletes doing branding. You should see their social media, how people are branding. People are getting opportunity as influencers and doing branding. So, it's changing over time, but then I know it's not as lucrative as an able-bodied sports, but this is what we need. Change is one thing which is required in para sports, and I mean not only para sports but all unconventional sports in our country. The condition for all people who are pursuing unconditional sports, it's just the same. And I see so much of change, especially in para sports, after we see an equal cash awards at the central level.
Mansi, now with the pandemic, I think, a lot of financial corporate sponsorship is going to get hit, at least for the, coming year or two, while everybody, just gets the act together. But so do you think that, it's going to hit the para athletes the most? It's going to be taken out from somewhere and adjusted somewhere.
So when you talk, Jyotsna, about corporate social responsibility, CSR, most of the athletes are funded through CSR. For like if you are not in the top scheme by the government, then there are like NGOs which help you, like Go Sports Foundation, Olympic Gold Quest, or if, like I'm supported by Wellspun Super Sport Women Program. So there are multiple corporates who either fund those NGOs, or corporates have their own CSR wing which take part in sponsoring athletes. With pandemic, definitely, because it has become such a priority, we do see that corporates have shifted their focus into medical or health region also. But initially, I mean, I had this discussion with you a few months back. At that time, I did have that doubt that, it might get affected. But, with Paralympic and Olympic year this year, I have not seen that change. I actually see that more and more corporates are funding sports also. It's a very positive change.
And we hope the positive change continues. To wrap up, I really did want to ask you, you've been in Time magazine, there's been a Barbie doll role modeled after you. So what is ahead for you in your personal life, and even otherwise as a role model for young women, for young people? How do you want to take this journey forward?
So yeah, I mean, it feels great to be on a cover of Time, or to have a one of a kind doll model. It definitely tells the whole world boldly that yes, we as people with disabilities are going to stay. We require mainstream support. We are going to be in the mainstream, and anybody can be anything. And if you see her, you can be her. All these things, like it's just like a subtle way, in a bold and subtle way. Actually, you are telling the world that yes, we are no different. But in I want to now, like personal level, if you ask me what change I want to see, I want to see more and more people uh, with different abilities taking up sports. I know how powerful it is, how sport has changed my life. Of course, sports, education, both. But sport is one of the medium which has given me an ability to be more confident, while education has given me an ability to be more outspoken. I think sports has given me an ability to be more confident in being that outspoken person. Uh, I want to I want everybody to realize how much it impacts or how much it empowers you. And not only sports, but anything which helps us, or anything that we are passionate or we're proud about. I want people to understand how it can take us in further levels. I want to have my own uh, foundation which helps more and more people with disabilities to empower them and let everybody know how we can, go ahead, how to deal with situations and be more empowered. And I think sports or empowering people through sports is one of my will be my what I would like to retire into, or which I look forward to doing. And be or changing people's perception is one thing which I really want to do it on a personal level. That uh, otherwise it's very gloomy out there for people with disabilities. I mean, I just it's just like a positive hope that we are planting. Okay, yes, we can do more than
I'm
this.
going to leave the last question and the last words to Jyotsna, but I just wanted to say, I don't know. I'm sure people with disabilities or who are going through some adversity, but I have taken great inspiration, and it has been such a joy talking to you today. But last words to
No,
Jyotsna.
when we're talking about inspiration, Manika, I have seen the way she exercises, even during the pandemic. If you see those videos, you and I will never see anybody's face, because I mean she's so inspiring. Those videos are those exercises, that exercise regime, is it still on, Mansi? How's it been going during the pandemic?
Yeah, it's still on. Pandemic has been such a learning experience for me, especially in terms of physical fitness. I was stuck at home. I was doing whatever workouts I had ability to do at that time. Initial few lockdown days, and after that I bought some equipment and I'm training. Even now I'm training at home. I'm still in my tournament. I mean, in my I just had one session before this conversation. So yes, my
So did
training
you
is.
calm down on the food? Because when I spoke to her at the beginning of the pandemic, every kind of food, Manika, in the house was being tried, and she was saying that it's a full eating fest going on at home.
No, no, absolutely. And but with her at least, I think the benefit is that she'll exercise and won't let it affect us, unlike the rest of us who were just eating and doing nothing.
But why not? Like, I think eating is a joy, and in this lockdown, we all have become chefs or some chef to anyone, and I think we all are enjoying this eating fest, as Jyotsna said. But yeah, I mean, now I have cut down on my eating habits. I'm following one diet, and today I had a call with my dietitian also asking how we want to take it forward once my intensity of my training will increase. So yeah, I mean, it's like a now my most of the communication happens with my trainers and my nutritionist, and I think my minimum communications are happening with my friends, and more communications are only going to and fro with my trainers, coaches, and nutritionist.
No, I think we're closer to the real world finally. I think there is like some light, hopefully, at the end of the tunnel. But before we just say bye to you, what is that one dish that you have totally enjoyed eating in the last year that you have discovered at home?
Hmm. I think abhi this winter season is eating ka सबसे best time. I think this bangan ka bharta or odo, which we call in Gujarati, it has become my one of the most favorite item. And I am eating bajra ka rotla and odo, that is bangan bharta. I mean, it has become my most favorite dish right now, if you ask me.
Yeah, I have to admit, even I love Baigan ka bharta. There is nothing like garam Baigan ka bharta with parathas. It is great. It is fantastic. Mansi, it has been an absolute joy speaking with you. Best of luck for all your future tournaments. We're sure you're going to bring so much more glory and many more medals to India. Best of luck, and the entire country is behind you. Thank you so much.
And we look
Thank you,
forward to seeing
Monica.
you on more covers of more magazines and, inspiring this young generation. And hopefully one day my girls who play badminton are going to come and get your autograph, Mansi. Thank you.
My height. Thank you,
Bye.
Jyotsna.
Thanks.
Thank you for having
Thank
Thanks.
me.
you. And if you enjoyed the episode, do share it with your friends. Vakra Swag is now available on Spotify, YouTube, Savan, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Goodbye.